Hello, everybody, and welcome to this MBL webinar on the subject of alternative fee arrangements for law firms, key concepts, advantages, and best practice. Now, there's a lot to get through, I have to say, as is my usual want. For those of you who've seen my presentations in the past, I do try to ram a lot in the available time. For those of you who haven't been on one of my sessions, there's a slide here with a bit of my background. I have, in fact, been working in the law 40 years as of 2023, so well seasoned. And during that time, I've been predominantly a litigator, doing personal injury and a bit of clin neg, and then moving sideways into legal costs and qualifying as a cost lawyer. Being a partner in a regional law firm, managing 3 offices, and also then ended up in a top 50 law firm, setting up their offices around the UK. Before, for the last 8 years or so, working for a company called Bircher Jennings, basically doing this, teaching lawyers how to do things differently in a better way and to make more money. And that's very much the subject of this webinar today about alternative fee arrangements. Now, in terms of firms who have had this kind of training, in terms of adopting what we class as a more sophisticated approach to pricing, there's a couple of slides with a big selection of firms that have had this kind of intelligence, this pricing sophistication, this pricing intelligence, if you like, about doing things differently. And when I say differently, moving away from the hourly rate. The hourly rate still has its place. It certainly has its place in terms of time recording and management information, and being our go-to way of measuring our realization. Obviously, our input from our time recording, our realization from our billing, and then obviously, naturally, we want to make sure we're recovering everything that we bill. But obviously, it's thinking about doing things differently to that, adopting a value pricing approach. Some more firms here that all be familiar names. Many of you in these firms may even be watching this webinar, so you'll be aware, if you have had the training in the past, about what this is all about. So we're going to have a bit of a gallop through this subject of alternative fee arrangements. Who's the architect of all this? Well, it's a guy called Richard Bircher, who's one half of Bircher Jennings, and he basically is the world authority on legal services pricing. So you're getting a bit of an insight into all this from who is regarded as the world expert in this particular field.